Hackerproof Season 2, Episode 2. We're back, and today, actually, right before I introduce you, make sure you guys are subscribing to our newsletter. I have to put that in there. Make sure you guys subscribe to our newsletter. It's going to be on the bio. We're just releasing it. Kelly is the writer of it. Kelly's a cloud security engineer, application security engineer at EY. So look forward to it. But before that, I guess we'll get started. Today we have Yasmin, Abdi.
You got it.
All right, the founder of NoHack. Want to make sure I got it right this time. The founder of NoHack and also a lead cybersecurity engineer, manager. I'm doing bad at this. I'm going to pass it back to you so you can introduce yourself.
Yeah. Right. Well, first and foremost, thank you all so much for having me.
Of course.
It's a pleasure to be in Houston, all the way from DC. So really excited to be here. The founder and CEO of NoHack. NoHack is a cybersecurity consulting company based in DC. I started it 4 years ago. And before that, I was a security engineering manager at Snap, where I was there for 6 years. Before that, I was at Meta. And then before that, I was at Google. I was also a co-founder of an AI fintech startup called Mimo that was acquired to Coinbase back in 2021. So been in big tech my whole life. Love everything about it, and we'll get into some more of those details later.
That is quite the resume. Quite the resume. And you know go ahead, Annie.
I just interrupted you. Go.
Okay, I was just gonna say I wanted to dive deep into big tech. I don't know, like sometimes it feels like it's such a hard thing to get into, breaking into big tech, breaking into those top tech companies. What was your journey? How did you start? Yeah, how was your route into getting into it?
I agree. I think the concept of big tech and breaking in is super difficult. I was fortunate enough to get in back in college. So through internship opportunities, I started as an intern at Snapchat and then had a successful internship. And then that transitioned into full time. And I think what really stood out during the internship application process is I was always super hungry. I was always looking for opportunities. They didn't just come to me. Like, you can imagine how many thousands of interns are potential interns are looking for these like 10, 15 spots at these companies. But I made sure that I reached out to recruiters. Even as a freshman, when I didn't have that much experience, I was like, I'm dedicated. I want to learn. You guys should take this bet on me. So yeah, I think that's what it was. It was internships. There's also apprenticeship programs these days, and there's a lot of different ways to break in, but definitely being proactive. Things are not going to come to you, so
you have to take the chance.
You go and look for them yourself.
Gotcha. And we have quite a few college students that actually watch our podcast too. I think like they're a good percentage, and also people that are now starting in technology too,
or trying to break into the field.
And so for a college student, ideally, an internship route would be the best bet for them to get into. From what you're saying, to get into big tech.
Yeah, and I'll do some shout outs to a few organizations that I was a part of in undergrad. So first and foremost, MLT, so Management Leadership for Tomorrow, is a program where I think a few hundred Black and brown students can apply, and they help you throughout 18 months to put you in front of these big tech companies, like help you with your resume, help you kind of get in that pipeline. Because sometimes like you can't just reach out to a recruiter and be like, hey, I'm interested. It's like having that middle bridge is helpful. So MLT was one organization I was a part of. Code 2040 was another one. There's an Uber career prep fellowship program. So I X'd out and did every single thing. Not only that, I started organizations for like women in computer science. I was on the e-board of NSBE. Like, I did everything in school. So, but I think like if you are in college, like really making sure that you're tapping into those like programs.
What school you go to?
Shout out to University of Maryland.
University of Maryland.
Any Terps in here. And I also actually just got inducted to be on the board.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, that just happened a few months ago, which I'm just like, such a full circle moment.
Yeah, very on brand.
How do you keep up? Because you look like you're working with a lot. You have your own company that you're running. All this thing. Why do you find time to like just take it easy and just take a break from all these things?
Yeah. Well, we don't take breaks.
I was gonna say I don't think there's
I'll
breaks
start
in
there. I think for me, my mind is always like running, and I'm always thinking about like what can I do? What's the next thing that I can do? Even right now, it's like I'm thinking about next? Work. Like NoHack is doing well, but like what's NoHack look like in the next 15 years? So I don't know. I like to stay active. I like to always just be thinking about solving the next big problem. But I would say like ruthless prioritization and organization is helpful. Like I live and breathe by my calendar. So it's not on my calendar, then like I can't do it.
Yeah. So going back on NoHack, You know, you just had a launch event on the 29th, on the 30th or 29th. Was it 29th?
On the 30th.
30th.
Yeah.
How was that? You know, because being a founder,
Amazing.
having a launch event, let you speak about it yourself.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, NoHack is a cybersecurity consulting company. So we primarily work with helping small businesses and startups with their security posture. And I can spend all the time talking about that, but the launch event on the 30th was a new arm of our business that we just opened, and it's all around helping people break into cybersecurity.
Okay.
So it's career services. So we have the B2B, which is where we focus on helping businesses. And then now we have B2C, where we help people break into cybersecurity. And we just had our official launch event. So if there's anyone on here that's trying to break into cybersecurity, please go check out NoHack's website and our career services page.
The link will be in the bio, so you guys, if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the bio. Check it out if you're looking to get into cybersecurity.
If you're looking to get into cybersecurity, we have 3-month programs for blue team. So all things around like defense, incident response, threat hunting. We have red team. So if anyone's looking to get into ethical hacking or penetration testing, we have GRC programs now too. So we have those 3 pillars, and we just launched that a few days ago, which I'm really excited about. We had a cohort last summer where we successfully helped 7 students get jobs in cybersecurity.
Congrats.
And it was
That's
just
a big deal.
it was such an amazing thing
That's
that
a
I
big
wanted
deal.
to continue and grow on it. So
Yeah. So my question is, like, it seems like you were doing pretty well, right? So why did you decide to transition or start NoHack, and what motivated you to start NoHack?
yeah, so African parents.
Oh,
You
really?
must be the president of this country by the time you're a certain age. And you keep going.
I was like 15, and my dad's like, "Where's the business that you need to start?"
I
And
love that type of
Yeah.
motivation.
It was, and both my parents are entrepreneurs, so kind of just seeing them as I was growing up.
Right.
I've always been entrepreneur minded. Fun fact: I studied computer science at Maryland with a focus in cybersecurity, but I double majored with business, a focus in entrepreneurship and innovation.
Okay.
That's a
So
nice
I've always had
combination.
the like, I know I'm gonna
Start
a
something
business soon.
eventually.
And yeah, I mean, my career at Snap was amazing. Like that trajectory, climbing up the corporate ladder, is something that people can make a lot of money from. But I just wanted to do more, and I wanted to lead by example, and just having my own business was the first step of.
You talked
So
about
my-
being a oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So my follow-up question would be like, I know you probably started NoHack and you were still working, right?
Yeah.
So how did you balance the two, and when did you know that, okay, now I'm gonna go fully into NoHack?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually started NoHack as a passion project back when COVID started.
Okay.
So like May 2020 was like the time I started it, and it was really around just helping like small business owners with their digital presence online. So
Right.
you can imagine like your mom and pop shops, like you can imagine like small startups, or like even just people in the community who didn't know what cybersecurity was. Like think
Right.
about the elderly, like they're always getting hacked. Like the community needs workshops around education and
Right.
things like that. So
Big time.
I was always just getting pulled into directions of like, we need your expertise.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did that for like the first few years, helped small businesses and startups, helped like just the community. And then it was around 2022, 2023, where I got a lot of speaking opportunities and a lot of speaking
Congrats.
engagements. And I think from there, like the need of like cybersecurity consulting was just on the rise.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
through all the things that I was doing with that, like opportunities kept flowing in and flowing in. And I actually quit Snap like 3 months ago. So I
Oh,
was
wow.
doing
That's
both
close,
of them
yeah.
for years. And then I was just like, it got to the point where thankfully we scaled.
Yeah.
Business was generating like
Revenue,
revenue where I could
Yeah,
kind of
nice,
leave.
yeah.
And opportunities just
So-
kept flowing in.
So with a consultation, right? Like, do you talk about every aspect of cybersecurity, or is the field you specialize in?
Yeah, so
That's a
we
good question.
yeah,
no.
that's a great question. So we primarily focus on companies who have digital presences online. So when you think about like endpoint security, when you think about vulnerability assessments, when you think about penetration, pen testing, like the services that they have online, when you think about compliance. So anything that a business would need to make sure that they're secure online. So typically what we do is we do an initial assessment. We look at their services, their infrastructure, the architecture, how are things connected online? How are things accessing the web? What does your web like digital presence look like? We do a report, find a bunch of vulnerabilities typically,
Right.
rank them, and then come in and actually like improve those like
Right.
vulnerabilities for them.
I'm guessing it's based on frameworks, like if it's a SOC 1, SOC 2 audit
Yeah.
of the environment, or like you're doing like a FedRAMP, if it's a federal organization.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
based on that audit, then you're giving recommendations to the company
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you, speaking of those certifications and regulatory bodies, did you have to be certified in anything before companies trusted you to share their data with you, or was it just based on their belief and trust in what you've delivered on so far?
Yeah, so I think impact and testimonials and just like word of mouth referrals was really helpful in the beginning. And definitely the companies that I've worked with, like I was
Big
like
name.
leading security at Snap for 5 years. So I think that brand recognition
Really helped a lot. That makes
Leading
sense.
security at Snap for 5 years.
Yeah.
You're pretty young, so that's actually, you were one of the probably youngest person working there.
I was actually the youngest security manager, youngest engineering manager, only black manager, actually only black woman manager. Let me
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congrats on that
Congrats,
again.
man. That's
yeah.
big. That's big deal. And I also
Yeah.
saw that you. There was a post on your Instagram that you did a presentation for NoHack at was it Facebook?
Yeah. So I got invited to Facebook's headquarters twice last year. They have an open source technology called Llama 3, and we're building one of our security solutions on top of their open source AI.
Nice.
So they
Okay.
invited like 40 companies to their headquarters to kind of speak about the work that we're doing on top of their open source technology.
Wow, that's great, great. And
Yeah, speaking of your Instagram, I saw some of the incredible work that you're doing for back home for Somalia.
Yeah.
And I really, really wanted to touch on that because that's incredibly inspiring, and that you're trying to give back as well to your people back home. And so can you tell us more about how it was, what you were doing, and the impact you've had thus far?
Because I saw that you were trying to, you and I don't know who, some leadership position,
Yeah.
trying to bring jobs back home, something like that.
Yeah, so fortunately last year I won the Global Innovator of the Year from the Global Somalia Awards.
Amazing.
So that was a really big opportunity for me to kind of just like speak back home and like the work that I was going to be doing back home. And then a few months after, I got invited to host the keynote with the president of Somalia in Doha.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I think for me, it's like at the end of the day, like, why am I working so hard? Like, what is the bigger picture here? It's to give back to my people, to help my community, to help my my country. And I know a lot of Somali people look up to me, and for me, it's like, okay, like the first thing I can do is like help bring opportunities and skills and like workshops and courses and things like that. So I partnered with the chairman of IBS Bank.
That's a bank in Somalia.
It's the biggest bank in Somalia, and our goal is, God willing, by 2030 to bring 100,000 tech opportunities back home.
How's the tech opportunity right now in Somalia? Is there a lot of developers? Because I know like countries like Nigeria, we're not heavily focused in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity practice is not a big thing. So how is that landscape in Somalia? Is it like a big practice there? Is it just starting up? How's the tech scene?
So Nairobi, which is right across the street, they have the biggest tech like innovation hub in East Africa. I think I'm not sure if it's all of Africa, but I know that they're like the big tech center. So we're working a lot with Nairobi to kind of bring these opportunities back home. But I'm not starting with cybersecurity. I'm starting with tech in general, just because it's like more
a bigger field.
Yeah, you could get more opportunities there. But I think slow and steady. First, it's like there's the need, and like when I think about the opportunity, I think about what is this going to look like for the country in the next 15, 20 years, and it's going to bring so much more development to back home. So
they need to make you the minister of like
Minister of information,
of information security. They need to create a department just
Minister
for
of technology.
Honestly, you're already in contact with the president. At this point, he needs to just give you a job.
At this point, let's contact me.
Yeah.
We should get a president to watch this, actually.
Yeah, that's incredible and very, very inspiring. I mean, back home in Ghana, I think it's the similar problem. I think just the job market in general in Africa, West Africa, is not the greatest. And so anyway, we can bridge that gap. But what we've learned thus far is so helpful. So when I saw that, I just wanted to give you your kudos.
Yeah, that's true.
And I would say too, do you feel like what would you give your success to so far? Is it from Snap? Is it from your networking? Is it from like your proactivity, like a combination of all three? Like what would you give your success to and the incredible things you've done so far?
Great question.
Well, first it would be God.
Amen.
There you go.
First and foremost, I think I'm super blessed. I think I'm one of God's favorites. I honestly feel that true in my heart all the time when things just happen, and I try to like give back so much because I know God has blessed me in so many ways. So first God, and then second my parents. They both came to America when they were like 23, 24, 25, like didn't have like more than probably $100 to their name. And then I think just seeing them like just
work ethic
and all of those things was super inspiring. So I think God, and then my parents. And then when I think about what I've done for myself over the past few years, I think it's like really just ruthless networking and like relationships. So like there's like a quote, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but like you can go as far and fast by yourself, or like further and faster with a group of people. I messed that up so bad.
Well, I got the point.
The point is like you can do so much if you're just doing it by yourself, but if you have like some people around you that are helping you, and I always try to like surround myself with like-minded like founders, mentors, sponsors, and all those things, and they've just helped me get so much further. So I think be super proactive around finding a community of people, because they also say like, show me the 5 people that are closest to you and I can show you who you are.
Right.
So I'm
Birds
trying to
of
have
the
the
same
5
feather.
people closest to me just like me.
Yeah.
So I think, that's just prioritizing like that. Those 3 things would probably be
And
the
like,
answer.
what if someone's like networking up, for instance, someone that doesn't have a company attached to their name, or a huge tech like a tech company or anything attached to their name, they're getting started. What is your advice for people networking up that want to build a solid network for themselves?
Join communities. There's a lot of like communities that you can network horizontally.
Okay.
Baddies in Tech is one that
shout out to Baddies in Tech.
that I would recommend for anyone listening to this.
Yes.
They have a huge community of Black and brown women that are exactly what you asked, like networking horizontally.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that would be my answer.
Joining the right groups.
The right groups.
Yeah.
My question is, comparing like working with Snapchat and the other organization and being like your own,
Entity,
boss,
being
your
your own
entity,
boss,
what's the main difference and how do you find it?
That's a good question. So how did I find my own identity?
How do you find the differences, right, between like working for yourself,
Yeah.
NoHack, and working for Snapchat or maybe Meta, or reporting to somebody at the end of the day?
And I
And
think
what motivates you to keep going?
Yeah, so I mean, you eat what you kill. So if you're not killing, you're not eating.
That is
Definitely.
true.
But I think what I've learned working for yourself is you wear so many different hats. Like you're constantly changing. Like now I've learned a lot about marketing and like social media, which I never would have done at Snap. Like I'm so far from our marketing teams. At Snap, it was very much so like you're doing insider risk work, you're doing access control, you're doing very specific security engineering work that's tied to like the security roadmap and security OKRs. But I didn't know anything about like a balance sheet and like marketing and things. And I think at NoHack, I'm working on all these different areas because we are such a small company still.
Right.
And I think
getting that knowledge expanded from everywhere.
Yeah, and I think it's actually so like amazing to like now be tapped into. Oh, what does a sales cycle look like? At Snap, I was never selling anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like what we do for our side. We're developing an app now,
Everything.
so now we're becoming app developers.
Yeah.
From nowhere, we're
Yes.
doing all these different things.
Working on different contracts.
Yeah. So it's just
doing penetration
You have to
testing.
dive in.
Like,
yeah, it's a whole new set. You have to think differently now. You have to think
Exactly.
like, how
Yeah.
can I bring more to my company, bring more from different directions.
Yeah.
It's great.
I just like to hear different perspectives, I mean, I've experienced it and I'm seeing me like doing different things that I wouldn't usually do, right?
Exactly.
But then I
because-
just want to see how other people see it as well.
So basically, from this, what we take out of it is being your own boss. You get to learn more than working for somebody.
Yeah.
But-
Absolutely.
But to add on to it, being your own boss, I feel like you work more.
You do,
Than
of course.
working
That's the
for
whole.
the
That is the
company.
whole point.
Yeah.
Being your own boss
Otherwise
means
you
you have
work
to do what you.
Yeah.
You can't tell the
Absolutely.
difference between the nights, the mornings, the
Oh.
weekends.
Yeah.
the days.
Yeah, it's
like,
all the
I
same.
think every day, like it's the same. I wake up, I check my emails, I respond to emails. If it's a Saturday or it's a Sunday, like it's no different to me.
But the thing is that it's more fulfilling because you're doing
Yeah.
something to benefit yourself and you
Yeah.
have that passion for it.
Yeah.
Not saying you don't have that. I want to say not saying you don't have that passion for corporate America, but this is the passion for driving
Yeah.
something your own self.
I agree. I think also like making your own, like making my first dollar at NoHack. Like, yeah, I made money at Snap, but like my first 1,000, my first 5, my first 10, like it made me so excited, and I was like, oh, I made $5,000 at Snap. Like, this is
Yeah.
nothing, but
You feel
getting
proud of
that first wire check from like making it on your own it was such a beautiful
Fulfilling
One
experience.
day we'll get our own too. I'll put it out there. So
Yeah.
who wants to pay us? Come pay us, please. That's great.
Nice.
I saw that. I think the one thing I also want to touch about is that you were the host of Afrotech on the main stage. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was one, there are not that many security Black women in leadership. To be honest, I don't have anyone that's a role model that I could look up to.
That is true. That's the thing with most companies that you work with. You don't see someone that looks like you on the top, so it's hard to know where the top is at.
Yeah, and I think even when you like peel the layer of an onion back, like you don't see that in tech. You don't see that in like engineering. You don't see that in security. So it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And as you know, security is such a like growing industry. So they had 3 main stages: AI, security, and data science. So I think having that recognition, because I am pretty well known in the security space now. One of their general managers reached out and asked me to do it, and I thought it was aligned with my values and my morals and my goals, and you know, just being that person that people can look up to. And I'm really happy I did it, because it showed a lot of these younger Black women that they could one day, you know, kind of be in similar positions. So it was a really fulfilling opportunity.
Kudos to you being an inspiration.
That's what it's about. I mean, back what you're doing back in Somalia, it all just ties to like who you are and your core at the end of the day. And I love how it speaks to everything that you're doing.
Thanks.
Yeah. And we're almost at, we're not at time yet, but
we can ask a few more questions, maybe 2 more. Working at Snapchat, you were a manager. Maybe, I don't know, you might not want to go into specific. What are some tool sets where you were managing for your team?
Some tool sets.
Yeah, because sometimes it takes tool sets to do your job. So what tool sets were you specifically, like, you know, aware of, like, go with SIM, that's your area of expertise? Vulnerability management tool sets, maybe cloud service provider, anything like that you...
Yeah, so it's really different working at like a private company who's tech and engineering focused, like is their forefront. A lot of the SIMs or tools or frameworks or anything like that we build in house.
I was wondering that if they leverage any third parties to do. I
mean, very like not a lot, like really big players that we don't want to like spend a lot of time building, but a lot of the similar like SIM tools that answer the same questions we have in house, because we have some of the top tech engineers in the country or the world. So a lot of things we build in house, but I primarily focused on insider risk. And I think what's super important and like super growing today is you can protect yourself from the perimeter. And I think that's actually one of the most like secure places, because you know all the different entry points and all the different ways that someone can break in, but you don't know what an employee is thinking. They might think, oh, I'm going to get laid off in a month. Like, let me try to steal company IP. Let me try to steal some source code. Let me try to rebuild the Snapchat app. So it's like you never really know the true intent, or like, and like sometimes it might be malicious, sometimes it might not be, but we really focus a lot on insider threat.
Does that involve, I don't know if you guys, does that involve any work with Shadow AI?
Shadow AI, not an insider threat.
Okay, insider threat. So it's just more using like a CASB.
I think.
Is it CASB? I'll say CASB is insider threat, right? Using like a CASB kind of solution to monitor for where someone is uploading excessive files to a repository.
Yeah, for sure. Or downloading it and trying to send it outside of the company network.
Especially for a company like
Snapchat. I think mainly you can use user behavior analytics. To be finding stuff like that, right?
Exactly. It's essentially that. It's like, what is our baseline normal for like how users, like maybe if they're sending like data, or like if they're downloading stuff, or what does that look like? And then kind of setting up monitoring and alerting and traffic to kind of see what's normal and what's not normal. So I focus a lot of my time on insider risk, which is a really important growing field.
And Snapchat have thousands of employees, so you have to.
I know. I'm like, how did you design a program or run a program to prevent insider risk? Like, did you do user awareness trainings? Like, what are some things that you use to help like educate users and prevent insider risk?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's important to understand there's like different groups when we're talking about insider risk. There's like people who might not know what they're doing but still doing something that's wrong. There's people who are malicious. There's C-suite. But it takes a lot of like cross-functional work too, because we're working with legal, we're working with compliance, we're working with HR, we're working with engineering to build out some of these things.
And there's policies and mix.
So a lot of cross-team collaboration, but also just like at the end of the day, like, what is our baseline normal, and then how does that deviate from, and like, what are the anomalies that happen from, like, what a normal workflow would look like for someone in finance or someone in operations, and then look suspicious? Is this like typical or not typical? But it's a lot of A/B testing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And those kind of stuff, you have to really focus on, people who handle confidential information because they have access to the real thing,
like
right?
finance,
Yeah, so PI, PHI, stuff like that.
Especially for a company like that's Snapchat. I mean, a lot of the big tech companies have a lot of IP they need to protect, and you can definitely blackmail them if you want to too. So like, that's why your job is so important.
And that's honestly like one of the reasons that we're starting a lot of insider risk work at Snap. Or sorry, NoHack. I did a lot of it at Snap and kind of just learning all the learnings that I took from them and building security solutions that are around that and selling that to like smaller and medium-sized organizations, so they don't have to redo all of the grunt work that I did. And they can just plug in our insider risk program.
The thing that amazes me is how these organizations have their own same tools and build it from scratch. I just want to see how like it works and how it looks like, because I've always had to use like different tools,
like plugins,
like
right?
Like CrowdStrike, stuff like that.
Like you said, everything is inside the house, so they have guys who are developing the same technology.
I just want to see the interface, how it looks. I'm just interested. I'm just curious,
the interface
right?
it's not as obviously pretty as
robust,
like a Splunk or something, but what's beneficial is one, like all the data, the movement is within your own like infrastructure. Where is it being stored? Where is it being sent? All of that stuff, and then it's easily integrated to all the other services that you have internally. So one of the problems that we had was like trying to integrate these different platforms. Like, we have such a fragmented system at Snap where we have so many different things that answer so many different questions, and plugging in something like a Splunk was like very difficult. So.
I believe that.
And you don't also want to carry that third-party risk, right? In case maybe CrowdStrike gets hacked, then they'll have your information, right?
It's getting closer to the end, and we'd like to leave it to our guests to ask us a question, because we're also a startup about maybe something that people want to know about us. Just anything you could ask us. You come in our show. You're seeing that maybe we could answer. We try to answer it.
Okay, I have two questions.
Oh, two. Shoot.
One, and I might put you on the spot.
Jesus Christ. Oh, goodness.
Ready?
I'm not answering it. Daniel's answering it.
How do you see Hackerproof HQ partnering with Snap?
Snap what?
Do you see it potentially ever partnering with like a large organization or partnering with any of these big companies?
Yes, it could happen with our events, because we threw our first event last year, November, and thanks to God, we were able to get close to 400 people in there. And so just having this kind of partnership where we can spread awareness of your company, put your company in the spotlight. If you guys are hiring, bring it in. We have in Houston, we have a group chat that has over like 200 tech employees or tech workers who have the skill set from engineering, software developers, and all this. So if you want to come in and come hire from our group, we have the experienced folks. We are all, what's the word I'm looking for? We are all competent
in what we do.
So you coming in and seeing what we do and just being part of our community and know what we do is, I don't know how to answer that fully, but go ahead. What you
I was going to say, no, that's spot on. And then maybe like a smaller organization, or how do you see Hackerproof working with NoHack?
Goodness, co-founder, please take some of this pressure off.
So in terms of NoHack, right? NoHack. Sorry, you guys do like assessments and stuff like that. And we have skilled personnel people who do. I could do penetration testing myself. Camby has a lot of experience in the cloud, so we do have personnel that I think, if there's an opportunity for us to work together, or there is maybe a contract that we can help you guys with, we'll be glad to.
And when a field that is constantly changing, as we are speaking, that we're thinking of another idea. So as the ideas come into our head, and we're seeing how all these groups that we have this connection with, why not involve them? Then we'll bring that opportunity to you and tell you exactly how we could benefit. The same way we're working with a good group, Cybermilk. They came to our episode last year, December, and they gave us an idea of we're creating a card game. Why don't we both created, help us train people in cybersecurity, and why not? It's just having ideas, sharing ideas, seeing who you can work with. There's nothing wrong for multiple communities to reach out to a different community and say, hey, we have an idea. Why not bring us together and just collaborate and have a bigger message to spread? So just being that, there's always ways to collaborate. New ideas come about. So as as we are speaking later, maybe even lunch, something might happen that we just think of an idea that, hey.
I have so many ideas already.
Even on our last event, right, we did have people from Microsoft, like Africa and Microsoft come in. We partnered with them. We were on the panel. We had a discussion about cybersecurity and AI. About
collaboration happens anyway. So just from having conversation with our previous guests in the previous episode and having a conversation with you, anything that just happened now, we're going out at lunch. We just talk about what we are doing all together.
For sure.
We find new ways to integrate.
Yeah,
no, I agree, and I think especially on the career services aspect.
I was going to say
anyone's
that.
listening,
That would be the
we have this whole cybersecurity career services program, and I know you guys are launching an app soon that's doing exactly what we're doing. So we might just join forces and do it together.
Let's do it.
Let's get it. Yeah. Money time.
Anyway, you know, we're all Africans. We're all a little bit still hungry. So anyway we can make money, we'll make money. But anything that we call I don't want. My works are watching me now, so I can't be saying too much. But I think that's all. And make sure you guys are subscribing to our podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. Yeah. And make sure you also subscribe to our newsletters on our website. We'll have everything below on our link. And thank you guys. And Yasmin, you did great. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
That's it.
That went by so
That was
fast.
good.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was cool.